Is there ever like a brand or like a sponsor that you've had approach you and you're just like, nope, not doing it?
Yeah, the other day it was like a sex toys company.
So you're telling me?
Okay.
Wait, no, wait. You're telling me if a dildo company came up to you and was like, hey, Chloe,
Call this the Chloe?
Yeah.
no, I'm just saying if they
Right.
said,
Introducing Oregon Originals Hemp Sleep Gummies, your ticket to a restful night's sleep. Unwind naturally with our premium hemp-infused gummies, crafted to calm your mind and relax your body. Oregon Originals is dedicated to quality, using organic hemp and soothing botanicals for a blissful bedtime experience. Say goodbye to tossing and turning, and hello to sweet embrace of sleep. Elevate your nights with Oregon Originals Hemp Sleep Gummies, because better sleep starts with a bite. Visit OregonOriginals.com and make your nights truly dreamy. Dreamy's natural sleep secret. Use code ROGER20 for 20% off today. I personally smoke unicorn every evening when I get home. Whether it's a smooth hit of a unicorn pre-roll or eating a high-potency unicorn drop, it's the perfect way to enjoy my free time and end each and every evening.
so what the fuck is up? What have you been doing?
Dude, it's 2024, so that's cool.
I know, I love it.
Yeah.
I love where we're at right now.
Me too. Did you know it's a new moon today?
No.
Do you know what that means?
I should've
It means
known.
that you should be like manifesting the shit out of your
So,
year.
all right. So, what do you mean by a new moon? We're just gonna dive right in. Are you like an astrology person, like
you
big
know
time?
this about me.
But I mean, like that, like it's like so it goes
Yes.
into that.
Yeah. So basically a new moon is when the moon is like completely gone. Like it's like the darkest the sky will be. It's the beginning of the moon phase or whatever. And so it's the time to manifest. And then full moons typically are for like releasing your shit, you know, letting go.
I should give you the benefit of the doubt on this and just do it.
Yeah.
I have been manifesting a lot of things though.
Okay.
I feel like,
Tell me.
yeah, I've been really focused on. I mean, everything podcast related. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like, what is my angle? What do I want to talk about? Where do we want to go? Like, what's the setup? What are we doing differently?
What's the vision?
How are we getting better?
Who are you going to talk to, right? You got to manifest the guests.
You put out a lot of songs in 2023, didn't you? Like, how many?
Yeah, technically 9.
Wow.
I released, let's see, an EP, and there was like 6 singles from that EP, and then 3 more right before the new year.
And a couple music videos.
Yep, 3 full music videos, and then 6 mini music videos.
Do music videos suck to make?
Dude, no, they're so much fun. I mean, there's a lot of work, obviously, that goes into it, but it's a
Kyle's
blast.
over here
I mean,
laughing.
yeah, he's like, he knows. He gets to see like the crazy side of me when I'm like, yeah. He's always like, can you just stop releasing music so quickly? Because it's like so much. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's
But-
like, I'm just trying to have a life with you, and this is just not what's going on now.
I know. But then sometimes he gets to be in them or just be around them.
She's really done a good job of justifying this to herself, hasn't
Yeah.
she? Yeah, no.
Yeah. You know what? I'm just like filling out your resume for you. So there you go. But yeah,
Wow.
no, it's a lot of fun. I mean, this last one I got to have my first like actual brand sponsor it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I've never had like a brand actually sponsor a music video. I've done like a zillion brand partnerships, but this was different, and it was super cool because you got to like figure out, you know, unique ways to like incorporate the stuff because you want to do it subtly, right? You know?
Yeah, you want to make it natural. Too.
Yeah,
I get that.
yeah.
I get
And
that.
so it was a jewelry
It's
brand.
just part of what you're doing. It's not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It should just like, you know, coexist with the story.
I feel like that's where advertisements are kind of going right now.
Yeah. Well, it's cool because like in this case it was like a female run company, and the whole music video is like it was like created with me and 2 other girls, and like definitely putting out the divine feminine vibes,
Of
and so
course.
it kind of worked. You know, you could support each other.
Yeah, see, that's awesome. Where'd you do that one at?
Big Bear actually, or like
Oh, wow.
Arrowhead. Yeah, it was sick. It was crazy. I like got off a plane and then had never seen the place, and we walked in and we filmed it completely overnight, literally from like 4 p.m. until 3 a.m. Didn't end up sleeping there because one of the girls had to take a flight the next morning, and we found out it was going to take us like an extra
What?
like 3 hours basically to get back to LA, and she'd miss her flight. So we literally shot throughout the entire night. I was on East Coast time, so I was absolutely delusional.
I believe it.
I had been up for like literally over like 36 hours.
I've
and I
done that
look-
before.
Dude, I look at the video and I'm like, how? Like, how do I not look like I'm dying?
I would have never guessed that that was what you were dealing
That's
with.
what
at
was
the time.
happening.
Yeah, those and how long is the drive there from LA?
It's not too bad typically. I mean, it took us probably like a solid like 3. It shouldn't. I
So
mean, it's
3 each
like-
way.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I don't know. It's not awful
That's a
considering.
super California statement of you to make.
Yeah. I mean, well, honestly, sometimes I'm like in 2-hour traffic, literally going from the valley back to like the South Bay. So
Yeah, we were just talking about like living in Los Angeles because it's I can't even fathom it a lot of the time for me.
really.
In the sense, okay, maybe it's because I saw Nashville and I just love Nashville so much now.
Here we go.
You know what I mean? I think that's might be why.
Yeah.
But like you could raise a family in Nashville,
You
right?
can. Yeah, you can.
And you can. I'm not saying you can't do it here.
Right. I
Right.
mean, I'm. You know, I
That's
grew
what
up
I'm
here.
saying. But
Yeah.
you know, I just think that you left Nashville, and I just
Yeah.
gotta know why. Why the fuck would you leave Nashville?
Well, I don't know. I mean, so I went to college there, obviously, and like started my career there, and then I'm from California, and it's a really small town still. Nashville's really small, even though there's like a lot going on. I kind of like reached a point in my career where I was like, all right, I've never given LA a chance as an adult.
I get it.
And I felt like I needed to. And at that time too, like I had just gotten my first movie role, and it was kind of like, well, this is another avenue as well on top of music. Like, let's be somewhere that's super like conducive for multiple creative outlets. And LA still is, and my music was also kind of like taking a turn to more pop land, I suppose. But I love Nashville, and I didn't tell anybody I was leaving. I just
You filmed
kind
an
of
Irish Goodbye in Nashville.
yeah, I did because I always go back. I go back every few months. My car's still in Nashville. My car. I couldn't honestly wouldn't make it. I couldn't drive it back here. It would fall apart. So
That's hilarious.
yeah.
So you just have a car in Nashville.
I have a car in Nashville because I go and I do writing trips all the time. I mean, my dream is to like have a place in LA and Nashville one day.
Yeah,
So
that'd be so
that's what
cool.
I'm manifesting.
Yeah, I love
I
that.
love it. No, it's a great
Love
place.
that.
But yeah, it's I was also just burning myself to the ground. Like you don't really get a break from anything, any music stuff there, and
Yeah, that's all it is all the time.
it is. And I kind of reached a point where I was like, I'm not really living. I'm having multiple rights every single day, which I love, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, like as an artist, it's very difficult to like pour that into your music.
I guess I didn't think of that, and I haven't spent enough time there to like say, "Oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
love this all the time."
Yeah.
But I guess I could definitely see where you are like, you want to go somewhere that doesn't have live music for
Yeah.
once, or
Yeah, and I
It's
think
just more-
too, it's like a mindset thing because it's still a small town. It's like the goal oftentimes seems like, oh, you have to be the coolest thing in Nashville, or that's the goal. Rather than for
Right.
me, it was always like try to, reach as many people globally as I can do, through whether it was like film and TV placements or brand partnerships as well, like just
Right.
other avenues. And like, not to say that those don't exist there, but it's just less, I guess, something that people chase.
yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, and it's very clicky. It's a lot clickier than LA, which sounds crazy, but I found it. that way.
I've already noticed that.
Yeah.
I've actually had I've already definitely noticed that. And it's not hidden. That's not hidden.
No, it's not.
That's not hidden even a
It's
little
not.
bit. That's very, very obvious in
Yeah.
what is out there.
Yeah.
That is the nice part about Los Angeles is you get
Right.
everything in LA.
Yes.
Literally
I'm ADD
everything.
and I need everything.
See, yeah, I don't know. I'm struggling. I don't know what I want.
I go through phases. I miss it.
I know I don't want
but-
Cleveland. I know
Fair, man.
I don't want Cleveland.
That's okay. That's a good thing.
I don't know what I want though.
Dude, I mean, hey, Nashville's a
Summertime
great
in Cleveland, I
place.
fuck with that.
Yeah, it's
Like-
getting expensive in Nashville though, man. Like it's
Crazy.
pretty much like LA prices. A lot of
That's what I've
hard to-
I've noticed that. That's
Yeah.
for sure. I've
Yeah.
got a buddy that lives just outside of downtown, and it's he rents a really cool house, has a great studio in it. Just put his own equipment in there. It's fucking crazy, and I couldn't imagine what that house costs, but it's like the ideal spot in Nashville, if that makes sense. It's right down the street from
I lived like everywhere in Nashville. I
Fucking-
moved every year. I lived there.
who's that guy that's in jail for?
Oh, Chris Lee knows best.
Yeah, Chris Lee.
Oh.
Yeah, Chris, whatever his name
You're-
is.
What, Brentwood? Where?
It's
Bellevue?
like Forest
Bell-
Hills. Is that
Oh
something?
yeah, Forest Hills.
Forest Hills. That's what it is.
Oh, Frank.
No,
or
it's
Franklin.
Forest Hills.
Okay.
The show.
Yeah. No,
I'm
I
not,
mean,
I'm not usually wrong.
there's a lot of. Obviously not.
Just kidding. It's so fucking.
I don't know. I lived like multiple places when I lived there, and I kind of was like, well, now I've seen every side of it, so
What was the biggest when you came back to Los Angeles? Then when
Mm-hmm.
did you feel like you had to find kind of like your group?
It was very weird because I moved back towards the end of 2019, and I knew some people that were still here, and I had been taking trips here literally throughout like even college and still, working with people here. So I was like meeting people, but yeah, it kind of was like starting over in a way, and I had like such a strong base in Nashville. So it was crazy. But yeah, I moved here and it was cool because I had never experienced what it was like to even like go to the valley, really. Like it sounds so stupid, but like I grew up in like a very safe beach town area, but the public schools are awesome.
Where'd you grow up?
In Manhattan Beach.
Oh, yeah,
So,
yeah.
Hermosa Redondo area. And
You're
so,
still there.
yeah, and so I ended up picking that spot again because it just, I don't know, I mean it is like home, but I got an experience living kind of up in the city. Like my boyfriend was living up there for a minute, and so I got that experience. That was cool. And we were trying to decide where to live, and this place opened up like walking distance from the beach that was still really, really affordable. We were like,
Right.
how can we say no to that? And also it kind of gave me a chance to like have a break from the LA chaos too, which is what I needed from Nashville and I couldn't really get.
Is it the chaos of go, 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 or is it the chaos of music all the time?
It's the chaos of, I mean, I feel like I'm always a go, go, go person, but that's the problem. If I feel like I can go and take like 5 meetings in a day, I will.
Okay.
So I have to like set boundaries for myself.
Right, I understand.
And just creatively, like to be able to like have space to really feel like I can like go on a walk and clear my head and like come up with ideas. And now like so much of my career too is like literally content creation. Like that's so much time, and like I better be somewhere that I like, and so if I can be, close to the water or something like that, like, and pay the same price as I would in the valley.
I mean, it's a no-brainer at that point.
Yeah.
I like being here versus Hollywood. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. It's
Like
nice.
it feels way more in a home space,
Yeah.
versus like
I mean, if I could
bad
have,
vibes in Hollywood.
if I agree. Like
I'm not trying to hate. I'm just saying, like, you go into Hollywood, like you can almost feel what it is.
There's some interesting.
After a couple experiences in Hollywood, I think everybody agrees.
Yeah,
about that.
yeah. It's not what they make it out to be.
No.
No way. But I do like the valley. The valley, I used to shit on it when I didn't know, when I was ignorant, and it's nice. It's really nice. I would totally live there. I wish I could put somewhere like Nashville in LA and then still have the beach and the mountains.
I just don't like how everything's on
desert.
top of each other out here.
It's funny you feel like that because I feel like there's still so much space. I feel like there's more space than other places. Because, I mean, maybe it's just because, like, I don't like to live anywhere that's landlocked. And,
I mean,
landlocked.
what do you mean?
And
There's space.
like, I could literally go and, like, drive
Where-
that way a couple hours and be in the desert. And then I could drive that way and be in the mountains.
All right. No. 100%. You could drive that way. You said it perfectly.
Yes.
You could drive that way a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you're in Nashville,
Right.
you could drive that way for 20 minutes.
And be in farmland. Yeah, for sure. I know. Yeah, that's true. But everything looks the same. It's only farmland. You don't get a freaking beach. Not to knock
All right,
farmland.
now that's my only one. That's my Nashville
Yeah.
downfall.
Yeah.
Is I like being close to the water.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a.
I mean, that
that's
was,
a
that
strike.
was my big thing. Yeah.
All
and
right.
the weather. I need the sunshine. I really do. It sounds really
No.
lame.
I get it.
But yeah, no, I don't. I want to be able to like be outside whenever I want to be outside and not feel like I need like 12,000 layers. And yeah.
Are you writing more music now? Do you plan to release something soon?
Yes, yeah. So I still have. So I released.
Is
3
Kyle excited for it?
Right. It's like, when does it end?
Yeah.
It never ends. It's never gonna end. Sorry, he signed up for that. He knew it right ahead of time. I gave him the download. Anyways, yeah. So I released 3 singles from my upcoming EP, which will be The Awakening Volume 2. I released Volume 1 last March. So I released 3 singles from that already, and then I've got another song, another single, and then the last single will come out with the EP. So.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
then trying to do a bunch of collabs this year too. So,
Anything notable? Anything you can talk about?
I mean, just with like different artists, I would say of all
I get
types.
it.
Like I really want to. I mean, the fun part about collabs is that you don't have to limit yourself. You can break out of your genre. You can do something that you want to do creatively, but normally wouldn't really necessarily make sense for you as an
understand.
artist, maybe. So anywhere from somebody who's more, I guess, maybe super indie pop dude, or even like DJs. Like I've wanted to do more like remix style stuff for a while too. Yeah, so a little bit of everything.
You're
I
changing
would
it up a little
say.
bit.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Why not? I mean, that's the fun part about getting to like collaborate with people.
Yeah, I like that.
That
is interesting.
Yeah. So it's definitely fun. What are you listening to these days?
I've been really getting into punk rock like the
Yeah.
last 2 years.
I miss bands.
But just really getting into that. I've been really diving into country more.
Sick.
But, I used to be really into country.
I mean, I used to be too, man.
Then I got out of
way
it.
back, and then I lived there for a while.
And then I'm touching it again. And
Yeah.
and it's just like, so I like Jelly Roll. I like Jesse
Jelly Roll,
Murph.
sick. Chris Stapleton, obviously.
Yeah, like a lot
You
of
got
those
your
guys.
OGs,
but-
Keith Urban.
It's a lot of that music is so much the same still.
Okay, that was back to my point. Again, I'm not trying to shit on Nashville. I love Nashville. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say that. But yeah, a lot of especially when it comes to like country pop specifically, which again, I'm all for mixing genres, but if the sounds are all the same, like come
Yeah.
on, like
The only things that would like mix it up is when like people would play with a banjo.
right.
I mean, for real.
But if I had a banjo on one of my tracks, I would just like fuck it up to sound like something else probably.
Yeah, I mean, you could use it for whatever, but I just don't understand. That's the one portion of it. Like, I get Broadway, I get it being country music, even outside, and I can tolerate that for what Broadway is as a tourist location.
Right.
But outside of that, you would think that there's other places that don't have,
Sure.
or more of those places. Not that, because the one place we went didn't have country music. We went with
Well, there's a lot of really great like indie bands. And
Yeah,
alt
see, that's
bands,
exactly
and
what it was.
Yeah,
they all smelled like they didn't shower in like fucking
for
a
sure,
month.
for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%. They
Yes.
were living in a van. I'm
and just
not
like
kidding
great
you.
singer songwriters. Like, I mean, that's what I love about it.
They were
like,
Canadian, the ones we
Yeah.
saw, and I think, but they're all the kindest people.
Yeah, yeah,
And we had a fucking blast there. But yeah, I agree with that shit.
yeah. No, that was the one irritating part after a while.
I don't understand that. I think the hard part though about Hollywood, or not Hollywood necessarily, but LA in general, in that scene is it's not hard necessarily to meet people in the business because
Right.
it's everywhere you fucking turn.
Exactly, and it's like unexpected people.
It
and it's,
really is.
you never know like who you're gonna meet and what creative outlet it's gonna lead you to. I mean, so it could be like a comedian, like literally, and you end up like collabing with a comedian, and like you know
Yeah.
what I mean, like somehow you really don't know. Or like a clothing company, and you meet somebody who's like an owner of their own business, and you end up working together. And I don't know, there's just a lot of cool things that come out of the woodwork here, just from literally walking around.
It really is. I mean, that's how we met.
Yeah.
Long term, for you in Los Angeles?
Right.
Is Manhattan Beach really where you're looking to just kind of make?
Like my dream of all dreams.
What's your dream of all dreams? Yeah,
I want to have like a bungalow in Topanga, and I want to like literally
California still.
yeah, like my own hippie pad, and it's like in the trees, like almost like a tree house where you could like see the water. This isn't my perfect world, okay?
All right, is Kyle living in this treehouse?
Yes, he is. He's in the treehouse.
I'm just so confused. How big is this treehouse?
It's a bigger treehouse.
Let's say you have $8 trillion,
yeah.
and you can get whatever you
Then
want.
I'd build my own treehouse in Topanga, but it'd be like, it would be like big enough.
That's fucking sweet.
It would
Actually, if
be
you built a sweet treehouse.
sick. Exactly. It would be amazing. And it would just be like this like amazing hideaway with trees, but there's also like the water really close. And
Okay.
yeah, I mean that would be like, yeah, that's
I'm
the
regretting
dream.
asking that question.
Yeah. Like dream on. I like picture me like having like my own publishing company there with like all my
That literally
friends.
was a dream you had when you were like 6 years old.
It's still existing.
Yeah.
It's like
You're just not letting
continuing
that
to
go.
grow. No.
She's like, I've been waiting for someone to ask me that question
Yeah.
for so long.
Yes, exactly. But that would be the location that I would pick for sure. There or just obviously like the beach. But yeah, kind of there because you can like kind of like get away. Like up in Topanga, it's sweet. Like you kind of have more of like an isolated thing, but at the same time you just like go down the hill and everybody's there. So
Yeah, I think that would be, I mean, that'd be fucking sweet. Who am I kidding? If you had a treehouse, I'd come visit.
thank you.
So
Sweet.
I also would like a treehouse now that you say that.
Thank you.
So it's not hatred. It's just a little jealousy.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
Sorry you didn't think about it first.
So like I've been listening to your music for a little while now, and I really love your music.
Thank you.
So what are you gonna do, like a tour, or like what are you
No,
what are you gonna do here? What are we gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to go on tour. That's something that I haven't done. Like I've done like mini stretches of shows,
I
you
get it,
know.
yeah.
I've done like residencies and stuff like that, but I haven't gone on tour. And so like my goal is to one, like meet the people that have been supporting my music since I first started, which is I was like a teenager, like you know, and that's crazy. And my music's obviously like morphed and shaped, and I mean I literally was like a student in releasing music, you know, and some of those fans still exist, and obviously I've met new ones from like all over. And so to be able to like really meet those people, and I was really blessed. Like I had people that were my fans come to my shows when I was in Nashville. I've met fans here in LA even, and in places that I have
I've seen you meet
played.
fans.
Yeah, and it's really, and it's surreal, you know. It becomes that much, I guess, more, well, again, like real. You know, sometimes on social media it can feel like, oh, you know, it's, yeah, this person listens to my music, but do they really? You know, and to really like have that person show up is the coolest thing, and to like see the reaction on their faces in like real time when you perform and you tell your stories, it's so cool. So that's a goal of mine. And
You're a great live performer.
thank you.
I've seen you perform live, so I can actually say that.
Yeah, you
I mean, you really are a great live performer.
Thank you.
You even had the crowd say their affirmations.
Yes, they did. That's
was
like
great.
my new thing.
Yep, that was great. I think that, yeah, but I think that's a very important part of it, obviously, because I can't tell you how many concerts I've been to, and you're like, damn, like that's not what I thought that was.
Right. And I mean, I will say again, what I really owe to Nashville and my experience growing there as an artist and a performer. I mean, I had never I'd done the talent show literally when I lived here in high school, like stuff like that, but I was not out like playing coffee shops. I wasn't playing any festivals. Like it wasn't like that, fairs, like that was not me. And so I really didn't start actually performing until I was in college.
Wow.
And even though I'd been writing songs since I was like 6 and in the studio and stuff, like actually performing for people besides in my bedroom was a big deal. And it taught me how to perform, but also like how to tell the stories. And I feel like that's really key.
Absolutely.
For my show specifically. I love to be able to like share where a song came from and talk to the audience. And a lot of performers don't do that, and I wish they did. I'll go to their shows and I'm like so psyched to hear their song, and I'm like, I wonder like what inspired that, you know,
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
and you just don't feel the same connection, you know.
No, you are totally right. Yeah.
Like, I don't care if you're like, it's great if you can obviously dance and entertain, and there's something so much fun about that, and that's so key. But to be able to like really like look at a person and talk to them in the audience, like you're just talking to them, even if there's like 700 people there.
See, the engagement factor is so big. You know who does a
Yeah.
really good job with that is John Mayer.
Oh yes, yeah,
Pretty much every rapper ever does a pretty bad job with that.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. No, but it's like, it's crazy.
As far
to
as the
me.
rap concerts I've gone to,
Yeah.
like Travis Scott was certainly not there to hang out with the people of Cleveland.
Mentally.
Now, I'm not saying he was, hating. I'm just
Yeah.
saying
He's just trying to get off stage.
that definitely was yeah.
Yeah.
That was not something he was like looking forward to.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
for me, like, I feel like when I perform and I actually get to like meet the people afterwards too, it's like, it's a whole other type of energy. Like, I obviously, again, I love talking to people online, but like, I feel like I'm my best self when I am performing live and like meeting these people. It's like, I like vibrate. I swear.
I get that. I get.
Like, and it, of course there's like
That's-
adrenaline, but it's also just like, wow, to have somebody come up to you in person and be like, dude, I just went through this, you know, like, I love your music, this helped make me feel understood or something. That's the coolest feeling in the
That
world.
is, I could only imagine that's probably one of the coolest feelings
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Especially when they identify it like that with it.
For
like that.
sure, for sure. But yeah, no, I would love to like open for an artist too that's like obviously bigger than me.
Yeah, it'd be crazy.
That would be cool.
That leads me to this. How do you get into a space where you can do something like that?
I mean, honestly, it takes money. I mean, it definitely takes I mean, obviously talent and hard work and all of the yada yada that goes in with that. But yeah, I mean, it takes having that support behind you. I mean, it's expensive, especially if you're playing with other people. I mean, it's expensive if you go by yourself with a guitar.
Oh, I believe it.
Nevertheless, if you have, 2, 3 other people with you, 4 other people with you, like, it's really expensive. So as an independent artist, you really have to, it's like, and it's also like, they kind of look at it like, you're doing me a favor by opening for me a lot of times,
Right.
So yeah, but I think
So
you gotta-
okay, so it's not usually then a paid.
I mean,
Or very
yes,
minimally.
it is paid, but it's just, yeah, I mean, it's expensive. You're paying for every person that's in your band, you're paying for their every single meal, anytime, obviously where they're sleeping, because you're not in a tour bus at that
Right.
point. Or maybe you are, maybe you're in a little van, but you're probably still sleeping at hotels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or in the bus, whatever. But again, it's just like everything adds up over time. I think if you're somebody who can sell merch, that's great because that can help out. Yeah, I mean, especially as an artist where it's not like the Chloe Caroline band. So everybody's in it. It's like Chloe Caroline and her band. And I love my band and they're like my family and I want to pay them and treat them with like the respect that they deserve.
Of course.
But yeah, they're not doing it for free. We're not all in this
Yeah,
together.
they're great friends,
And
but
that's like- yeah. So I mean, that's something. Obviously, a lot of people too. You have a booking agent or something like that, and that helps.
that's
but
fucking funny.
yeah, it's just the reality. But you gotta get smart with it. I mean, my goal, and I've been thinking about this for a while, is to like. I mean, again, I've already been really intentional about trying to work with companies and brands that really align with who I am, and not too many, just the one, you know what I mean? But like ones that really make sense, and to have a brand kind of be involved in a tour would, sick. Obviously, you have brands that sponsor tours, but
Yeah, that'd be great, right?
to be able to like, maybe it's again Dream Free People, and they've got flagship stores literally all across the US, across the world, and you perform in their stores and you film it and it's shoppable content and it becomes a whole thing,
Absolutely.
So you have to get creative with it. That's like one of my ideas. I guess I'm leaking that, but
We can edit it
whatever.
out. Just let me know.
Fuck it. If you want to
It's out there now.
Go for it. But yeah, you gotta get creative, and of course, like, it'd be great if Harry Styles asked me on tour, but we'll get there.
Yeah. Hint, hint.
Hint, hint.
I think like a tour, I've always wondered what the figures are behind that and like what
Yeah.
something like that costs. But I've also now based on that conversation, understand why it is so expensive to go on tour.
It's very, very expensive. And again, like, it's where a lot of artists make their money for sure. I mean, there's a reason that Taylor Swift is touring and these other artists.
Yeah.
Like, she's got $1 gazillion. She doesn't need to tour, but she does, you know. And obviously she wants to meet her fans and play her songs, but, you know, you can make a lot of money there. But it's also why it's very competitive as far as getting to play the shows that maybe pay or to get on those opening slots. I mean, yeah, artists buy onto those slots oftentimes. I don't know if I'm supposed to be saying any of this.
Well, what I've noticed though is
I'm
people
too
buy. This is what I've noticed is people
Yeah.
buy everything.
Yeah. We've talked about that.
In more recently, I found out about the purchasing of articles.
Which didn't used to be the case as much, but yeah.
I get it when you're. It really ruins the it's whoever's paying. That's all it is. It could be anything. It's just whoever's paying.
Yeah.
It's whatever agenda.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's certain things they probably wouldn't publish, right?
Right.
Certain people, or
Sure.
But even anything that's kind of edgy or whatever, any of those
Right.
big major companies
Right.
are taking. I mean,
$10,000.
10, 15,
Yeah.
25,000 I saw on some of them.
Yeah.
I'm like, you gotta be for a fucking
Yeah.
article. You can't tell me that an article is gonna do
Right.
you that much
Right.
good.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I think too.
I'm not gonna say it's gonna hurt, but
Right.
I just
Yeah, yeah. Well, and again, it just goes to show you how a lot of it's very smoke and mirrors. It's like, oh, I was in yada yada magazine, or with TikTok. Oh, I want to get verified. Well, I need X amount of legitimate, big press.
Yeah.
Not like you could have you could pay for publicity and be on these talk shows, and you could have 1 million blogs and a bunch of little magazines and blah blah blah. But until you are on Good Morning America and also in Rolling Stone and also in, LA Mag and these like just bigger publications, it's really difficult. I mean, unless you know somebody at TikTok, but again, sure they're.
I had my best TikTok ever yesterday.
Did you? I gotta watch it. I gotta like it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Lock in the like.
Yeah. Locking it in.
I think but that shit makes me sad. That shit makes me sad that to know that these magazines that we're picking up or these articles that we're reading online are creative articles surrounding a predetermined there's no creativity, there's only creativity within whatever they're being given to work
Right.
with, and that's fucking bullshit. It's not even an article at that point.
Right, yeah. And it's like, I get it from the standpoint of like writers deserve to be paid for their articles, but also, at what point again, is it payola for them to just be writing and like, what are they going to write a piece of crap about you if you paid them $15,000 if they really genuinely don't like your music? Like, no, they're still going to write something. And you know what I mean? It's just, it seems it's already hard enough to be an artist. And then
I don't think. Yeah, I think the writers obviously. I definitely think they should get paid, but I also just don't think. I mean, it's just not what it used to be.
well,
I guess
especially
it's
for an online article.
yeah, like
Like,
not even print.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like it is wild. And again, like the fact that like as an independent artist or I mean even a label artist, you're paying for publicity and then paying on top of publicity.
Yep.
For those specific articles, big enough ones. It's insane.
I really want to get a sponsor that's a billboard company,
Yeah.
and then I don't want them to pay me. I just want them to give me a billboard.
Yeah, they
I
are.
want that billboard to be on Sunset,
Yes.
and so I gotta find a billboard company. So anybody have any suggestions?
There you go.
Holla at your boy.
You can pay for your stuff attend Times Square.
Oh, really? You can pay for that too?
Yeah.
I believe
Pay
that.
for anything. I haven't done it.
All right, Jesus, Chloe. All right.
Just gonna spill the truth, man.
What do you think a Times Square billboard costs? We were just talking
think it
about billboards
depends.
earlier.
Well, it depends how long it's up there. There's a company that does it. I know because I saw a girl. I saw a girl that did it, and I was like, how did you have this? How did you have this?
How did you
And
end
I
up
was
on
like,
that?
What is this? And I looked at the company. I was like, oh. No offense. She was just like a very, 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 very small art. It didn't make sense, you know. But it was. It's only up there for like a certain amount of time, like minutes or seconds even. But people will pay for it.
Just to have it up there once?
Yeah.
1 to 3 days, between 5,000 and 25,000.
Well, there's
Time.
that.
Yeah, there's the,
Yeah.
that's like a regular billboard though.
It's digital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then there's another one where like you could have it on like once, like they play it once.
Yeah,
And it's up
I'm
there
sure.
For like maybe, I don't know. Again, don't quote me on this, but like maybe let's just say a minute, you know.
That's
But
crazy.
yeah, to be able to be like,
Couldn't
oh,
imagine
yeah.
paying that for one time. Like,
Yeah, and
You-
it's. I mean, I think it's cheaper when it's just that, but it's still you're paying for it.
yeah, but that's fucking ridiculous. I would never do anything
Yeah.
for anybody.
Yeah. Again, smoke and mirrors. This fake ass industry.
Literally. So where have you been finding inspiration lately?
That's a great question. Lately, because I would say I've been since I got back from the holidays, I've been writing with a lot of like new people. So that's been really cool to just like I guess expand out of my comfort zone and whether it's for my music or specifically for more like film and TV stuff, that's been really cool. I've been writing with some awesome people that have had a lot of success in like the ad space and commercials and stuff like that. And so that's really fun because it doesn't, again, it opens you up to trying different things. Like I literally just did a song the other day that was like straight up like Fergie London Bridge. Like I'm basically like talk rapping the entire song, which obviously
I dig it.
You know, and it's like
Are we gonna put that out?
it's like we should, maybe we should.
Yeah, maybe you
but
should.
it was so fun because it was just like write whatever, man. Like do it, you know, this works. And it's not my artist stuff, but it's great for an ad maybe, or maybe it will be my artist stuff one day. I don't know, but probably not. You never know though. So that's been really fun. And when I do stuff like that, it makes me want to be more creative with my own music because I got to like, I don't know, get your yayas out, right?
Yeah, I think that's probably real good for you too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that's been fun. Again, just like being outside, being in nature. That's always my thing, man. Like I need to like have that time to myself to like really just think and like be alone. And I've always been like, oh, I'm an extrovert, and then sometimes I'm like, actually, I don't know if I am.
Would you say like as far as like your mental health goes, if because I've noticed myself kind of in that same situation where I love being around people, but when I don't want to be around people, I really don't
You
want to be
check
around
out,
people.
yeah.
Yeah, I check out hard.
Me too.
And
It's the Irish goodbye.
yeah, it's like as soon as you get that thought, maybe you relate to this. It's like as soon as you get the thought in your head, like of I want to be at home, or like
Yeah.
what you want to be doing when you're home, whether it's sleeping, watching TV, like whatever it is. Yeah, I'm fucking out.
Dude, no, I'm the same way. And I'm like a major empath. So like if I'm around somebody who's super high energy, I'm super high energy. Like I
Yeah.
feed off of people's energy. And so it's exhausting. Like after
Oh,
a
I'm
while.
sure.
It's just like it's so exhausting. Or just even like as a creative and as an independent artist, and you're constantly in communication with somebody, whether it's on social media or you're at a writing session or you're in a meeting. It's like constantly. So the last thing.
Never ending.
Yeah, exactly. Like I really need, again, to like set the boundary with myself to like, okay, go like have your you time, go for a walk, get outside, just turn everything else off or whatever. Just maybe you don't even turn it off, but you just have that time by yourself.
Yeah, I need to be better about some of that shit. I need to get off my phone more.
Dude, yeah, it's hard. It's really hard.
So hard.
It's a weird world. It's not a world that we were built for as human beings.
I feel like I'm always on my phone, always answering it. Someone's always messaging me.
Yeah.
you know, and I'm like, dude, at some point,
Yeah.
when does this stop?
You have to again.
And my shit doesn't.
set
It just
you know,
doesn't.
It doesn't, and it won't. And that's the thing is like there's so much freedom and beauty being an artist because you set your own schedule and everything, but it never turns off. You know, even when you're on vacation, it's like you really have to be like, all right, I'm just not going to be on my phone for this amount of time because technically you're always could be doing something. You know, I always could be finding something to do.
But
for
you
my
gotta
music.
fucking loves that.
You know? Yeah. Right, yeah. He's the one that I'm like, you gotta stop doom scrolling. But I'm pretty good at it. I feel like, I don't know. You tell me. What do you think?
He's not gonna say
He's like,
shit,
not-
dude.
You don't know.
It's all good balance. There's balance is everything, right?
Yeah. What a nice answer.
That was a really nice answer.
But I'm not over here like talking to like, I don't know. Honestly, I should talk to my friends even more. I feel like I'm just like responding to people on Instagram that like are my fans, because I feel like I should. You know, they're taking
It
time
was so
out of
funny.
their lives.
My
to say
favorite part is
something.
Kyle obviously doesn't like it. Very obviously also loves you and doesn't want to hurt your
I
feelings.
know.
That was a solid lie.
But here's the thing: is like he's also in entertainment.
Yeah, no, I know. I know he
would
is.
be in the same space, but I don't know. And he's so good. He responds to people like immediately. I feel like actually no, that's a lie. Not like personal people. I feel like you respond to like people in your career pretty fast.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Well,
Yeah, you don't
that's
want that
like
shit
me
sitting
too,
around.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just never let that stuff sit. I mean,
Yeah.
you just can't.
Yeah.
Introducing Oregon Originals Hemp Sleep Gummies, your ticket to a restful night's sleep. Unwind naturally with our premium hemp-infused gummies, crafted to calm your mind and relax your body. Oregon Originals is dedicated to quality, using organic hemp and soothing botanicals for a blissful bedtime experience. Say goodbye to tossing and turning, and hello to sweet embrace of sleep. Elevate your nights with Oregon Originals Hemp Sleep Gummies, because better sleep starts with a bite. Visit OregonOriginals.com and make your nights truly dreamy. Dreamy's natural sleep secret. Use code ROGER20 for 20% off today. I personally smoke unicorn every evening when I get home. Whether it's a smooth hit of a unicorn pre-roll or eating a high-potency unicorn drop, it's the perfect way to enjoy my free time and end each and every evening.
Is there ever like a brand or like a sponsor that you've had approach you and you're just like, nope, not doing it?
Yeah. The other day it was like a sex toys company.
So you're telling me?
Okay.
Wait, no, wait. You're telling me if a dildo company came up to you and was like, hey, Chloe,
Call this the Chloe.
Yeah.
no, I'm just saying if they said,
Right.
hey, Chloe, we're gonna sponsor an entire tour for you,
Right.
but
But what? What's the catch?
I mean, the name of the company is gonna be on the side of the tour bus. I mean, you know, this is the sponsor.
It might not be the move. It might not be the move. And my problem with a company like that is that oftentimes it's just graphic and raunchy. And like I'm in
I agree.
I'm like, yes, sensuality, sexuality, let's go. But like what I've always hated about like sex shops and stuff is like they're very scary. They're not warm to walk into. You're like, I've never seen this. That looks like it would hurt me. What the hell? You know what I mean? Like
I've never been into one.
Just like great. I've only been into one time with some friends, and I'm just gonna say that right now. I would rather like literally start my own brand at first and have it be like warm and welcoming, and there's like essential oils and.
Anyways, this conversation just took a left turn.
Hey, you brought it up.
That is
That was the
honestly,
company.
I couldn't have asked for a better answer. So Chloe is starting her own company. So, anyways, Kyle, good luck.
I'm just saying they do it in a way that is not classy, okay? And they're not trying to be. And I
There's no
guess
classy way to do that. Like, how do you
there's a
sell?
classier way to do it.
I look forward to seeing
there's
this.
a classier way to sell lingerie, bras and underwear. It doesn't have
Listen,
to
I
be-
get it, because they do sometimes, you know, have the 50-cent jerk-off booth next to it.
Yeah.
You know, so I get it. I get what you're saying, but
No, I wouldn't want that on a tour bus.
I can't really blame you on that one. I would still maybe consider it though.
Yeah. You know what? There's enough money just getting.
So you get things like that. That's obvious. So that's like understandably a no-go,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But what do you look for then? Maybe.
Yeah. I would say, I mean, obviously companies and brands that are promoting, positive vibes and wanting to help people better improve their lives and through their product, whether it's, a pair of running shoes or a drink brand, like whatever.
Right.
But something that helps people. It's not just like a product just to sell to people. It's something that may help them. So that's something that I definitely look for. A company that's big on like connecting people.
Yeah.
And inspiring, fostering community is hugely important. And then just being a West Coast girl, anything that's got vibes of California, the West
stuff.
Coast, and companies too that like really embrace like people's individuality and
Okay.
and authenticity and loving your body and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I dig that. I'm kind of the same way. I might take a little bit more of an edgier one.
Yeah.
Can't say I'd go with sex toys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Can't say I would.
I'm trying to think of like the edgiest thing I would partner with. I don't know.
Yeah, that is like an edgy. I mean, like a condom company, I would partner with that. I think that would be like a
That
reasonable.
could be cool. That could be cool.
But I don't think. Yeah, sex toys.
Yeah.
I mean, if they paid real well. I
don't
don't know what that
man.
ad read would look like, but
Right, I'd have to make very specific changes I'd be making. Very.
yeah, but you could do. They do have some. They have really edgy stuff people are sponsoring now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, they do.
Would
yeah.
you ever do like a hemp brand or like anything like that?
I think if it was a product that I really believed in, sure. You know.
I got some people you need to meet or a product you need to
Yeah,
look at.
I'm not anti hemp or anti weed or anything like that.
Right.
It would definitely be something that it would have to be, and again, it's just the vibes of the brand would have to match who I am and everything. But yeah, it's hard because because I've worked with like wine brands and stuff. So even though like I have a demographic that can also be young, I also have a demographic that's my age. So yeah, it's authentically in my space as well.
Yeah, I think I have some good people that I want you to meet then. Just for something down the road.
Yeah.
I keep looking at these sponsorships, throughout everything, and not just podcasts, not just YouTube.
Yeah.
Just things that are everywhere, and obviously LA being the epicenter of advertisements and sex and selling. Sex sells.
Yeah.
That almost just came off as like a prostitution comment, but it
No,
wasn't
it's
meant
true.
to be.
I mean, it's very true.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting with a lot of the stuff that's going on in that space where you're not really a take my clothes off, go all over the place kind of singer.
Right.
Where like a lot of these other chicks are just like naked, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is that something that's been kind of ingrained in you forever, or is that like kind of you just being you?
Right. I think.
Is it because of the moon phase?
I get. So I don't know. There's a difference between, I think, embracing your sexuality and feeling like comfortable and free to express that. I mean, again, my song Manifest is definitely the most sexual song I've ever written in my life. I mean, it's literally about a sexual fantasy. And that was like terrifying to put out because I'd never done that before. I'd never written about it before, or at least put it out there and into the world. But I think for me, what was key was like doing it in a way. Some people just do raunchy because it's attention seeking,
Yeah, see, that's why I say that.
Yeah.
You put it. That's a great way.
And
to put
there's a way to do it, I think, that where you can still have class. I mean, again, for me, like there's nothing wrong with like expressing your sexuality. There's nothing wrong with sex. There's nothing wrong with talking about it, singing about it. Like it's part of like what makes the world go around, literally. But it does not have to be this like dark, scary thing. You know what I mean? Like there's a way to promote it where it's still not even promote. It's the wrong word, but embrace it with a confidence that still has some class to it, you know? And so that's what I try to do, at least with my video. Like, you know, I'm obviously not naked in it, but hey, you know, you never know. There might be a video where I'm not like completely nude, but it fits the song and it's intentional and still in a way that doesn't, you know, I'd still be okay maybe if my grandma saw it, you know? That's what I always kind of like think, like, am I going to be, no matter what it is, like, am I going to feel good about it in X amount of years? and hopefully, and maybe it is, you know, for some people, again, there's a million girls who do OnlyFans and guys. If they can actually like sit with themselves and be like, all right, I'm going to feel good about this when I'm 85, then like, so be it. Like, you know, whatever, do your thing, you know.
I don't know about
but
all
for
that.
me, like, not so much, like, you know. So I don't know. And I know that there are so many people, again, like, putting that side of pop culture and just sexuality like out there. Like, let me go a different route, you know. Let me have like the 12-year-old girl who's like scared of all of that, and you know, to be able to have another outlook, you know, when it comes to that when she's old enough.
I think that whole entire space is so unhealthy.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. It's like a lot of it is very toxic, and it doesn't put, whether it's women or just relationships, in like a very healthy spot.
Well, you see though, like even singers though, more specifically actually women singers in this particular area in LA, that they're using their sexual appeal, which I fucking get it, but they're using their sexual appeal to almost promote their music.
Right. Yeah.
Right? But at the same time, a lot of those people are just good looking, whatever it might be, and it's not even because they're really
talented, maybe.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
You know,
have a good song.
you know what I'm saying? Like you see that.
Yeah.
And I just think that's sad, because it's like putting these people that probably have these super creative spirits in this space because they need to make money.
Right.
Of going, I'll just do both. I'll post this on my OnlyFans.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'll put this music out, and then we'll, you know, do a little post about me wearing nothing and how my new song's out.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like, and rock on, right?
Right.
But, and I'm not hating. I'm just, I just, you don't see the conservative style that you kind of bring to the table a lot.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that, because it's definitely, and it's not easy to kind of like do like that mixture, you know, but I don't know. I do my best, you know. I definitely was like I feel like late bloomer to all of that stuff in high school and stuff. And I mean, I literally didn't kiss a boy until I was like 16.
Really?
Yeah. And my friends like made
Mark
fun of me.
didn't kiss a boy till he was 20.
No, it's so true though. But like my friends like made fun of me and stuff too. Like I was just very picky in particular, and like scared and like and all of that. And so I don't know. There's just a lot of that stuff out there already, and I want people to, I don't know, feel safe.
I get it.
Too. Well, also still like, again, being true to myself and being like, this is something that I do believe in as well. You know, the other side of it though.
So what's 2024 got in store for you?
More tunes, like I said, definitely more tunes, more collabs, hopefully more acting stuff as well.
Okay.
Been working on a short film with him actually, but also another project, a feature film that I've been working on with a friend for a while. So that would be really, really cool. Again, hopefully more shows. I found out that I'm playing the Troubadour in June, which has been a big goal for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
How
so
excited are you?
I'm very excited. Yeah. That's been something I've been manifesting for a long time.
Wow.
So very, very, very excited about that. Yeah, hopefully some more festivals. That's another thing I would love to do more of, play some more festivals. Those are so much fun.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just, I think you just constantly are like trying to elevate, right, and expand your creativity. And so, yeah, for me,
You're never satisfied though.
I'm never satisfied.
You're never, and not like in a bad
and
way.
not in the sense where it's like am I happy?
unappreciative.
Yeah, like I'm like at peace. But I also like, I don't know. I've big goals and things that I'm constantly thinking of, and merchandise. That's another one. I'm finally going to do that. Like I've had merch in the past, but it's been a really long time. And I had like a really awful experience with my last merch stuff. Basically, the company like went under, not my company, but it was like the company that I did it through went under and like still owes me $8,000.
What's merch for you gonna look like? I'm
Yeah.
now I'm really intrigued.
I'm still kind of figuring out exactly how I want to go about it. I do think to start, I want to basically test out a bunch of different designs for people, like whether it's, you know, having lyrics or song titles from multiple songs and seeing what people, and that's what's cool about it these days is that you can do like one-offs and, you know, print on demand stuff at first to just gauge like what are people leaning towards. Is it straight up Chloe Caroline t-shirts?
A bunch of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And it is expensive, so probably gonna do a little bit of that. And then I've always you know, I had like my own Chloe Caroline like jewelry collection that I had designed a couple years ago, and that was really fun. But I would love to do that again. I mean, right now I have my collab with Moonglow for the piece I'm wearing right now. And so that was really cool, but I definitely want to do even more of that stuff just because it's different, and I love jewelry, so why not have a different type of merch item that
is a different kind of merch item.
Yeah,
but it's not even far out there. It's actually, it's more of a why does everyone not have that?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I mean, so
I like that.
So that's.
Is there gonna be a men's collection?
Fun. I would love to do like some unisex pieces at least. Yeah, I think that'd be really fun.
I'd rock a Chloe Caroline.
Yeah, hell yeah. Oh yeah, no, definitely. All the shirts for sure will be unisex.
Yeah, like a hoodie.
Yeah, for sure. Like a beanie, like some cool stuff.
Yeah, like with your autograph on it or
some
something.
Vibes. Oh, there we go. Ideas. Yeah.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, hell yeah. But yeah, that's just a start.
Do you intend on doing? I know you said that show in June. Are you setting up more live shows in LA or outside of LA in the interim?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I'll definitely. So my EP will probably come out sometime in either March or April. So I'll definitely be doing like a bigger EP release show here in LA and probably maybe even Nashville as well. I would love to. Yeah, I'll definitely have more shows in LA in between now and then. And then my other goal this year is I would love to play a show in New York. New York would be sick.
Okay.
I've been wanting to go there.
New York would be
even like Chicago and stuff. I've got like a big fan base in Chicago, and I've never been there. So
I'd fuck around and come to either of those. Those are close to me.
Yeah.
Chicago.
We still got to do Ohio, man. I got my Ohio fans have been
listen,
like
I'm ready.
me.
Well, I've got stories for you. Let me tell you.
We gotta
catch up on those.
Yeah.
Definitely. But yeah, I mean that would be sick to get you. We can get you in Ohio for sure.
We'll do it.
But yeah, New York City would be crazy.
It'd be so fun.
I haven't been to New York City in a long time. I need to go back.
Yeah, I've really only been once as an adult, and that was a couple of years ago. It was 2020, I think, 2021, something like that. It was 2021, yeah. But it was so much fun, and I have like so many friends that I work with on Zoom even. So I would love to do like an actual like work trip there.
Yeah, absolutely. Why would you? Yeah, that makes sense. So, anyways, with Manifest, all right. I gotta, because I want you kind of walk me through Manifest.
Walk you through
Yeah,
Manifest.
walk me through Manifest.
Like, what is it
Walk everybody
about?
through Manifest. We all want to hear what it's about.
Okay, yeah.
Like, put it in, what does it mean to you?
For sure.
Versus, or like, what do you you just go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote Manifest because basically, I had somebody that was like stuck in my head and I couldn't get him out. And it was just like this fantasy that kept like building in my head, and I felt like I was going crazy. And this was like during the period of time in my life where I was very intentionally single and like healing and alone. A lot of introspection, trying to figure out what I wanted. And at that same time, I had been really getting invested in manifestation, I guess, and really like watching it work like crazy things in my life, even, whether it was through my career or just like, I don't know, just like weird life things daily. I'd like write something down and it would happen. And it was just like mind blowing to me.
I get it.
And so I kind of had the thought of like, well, why not like manifest this this like fantasy, I guess. And I like brought it up to my friend Emma when I was in Nashville, actually on a trip. I was working on my project, my EP, and she loved the idea. And yeah, we ended up writing it, and it was the last song that we added to the EP. I was basically done with it, but we were so like psyched on it. We had like posted it on Instagram and TikTok, and people were responding really positively, which again, I was really terrified because I have literally like my fan base is anywhere from like 18 to like 65. And
Yeah, it's all over the place.
It's literally huge, which is so cool because I feel like, you know, if anything, it means everybody can find something that resonates with them. But what was awesome was that when I put it out there, just the little demo, and then when I started playing it live, because I played it live for like a solid 2 years before I released it, like every time I played it at shows, like the people that were vibing, obviously, yes, young people, but like older people too.
Really, they were digging
it. They were digging it, and I think it brought them back to like a time maybe in their lives when they felt like that about somebody, or even just, I think overall, like the message of the song is more so just like, you know, embracing your inner power, and you know, no matter what it is that you're manifesting, and embracing your sexuality and femininity, which we all have in us, even men, you know, there's like that side of them too, and it being something that's like just awesome and beautiful, you know. In the music video too, like you don't see me with a guy, like I'm still by myself, and it's kind of like leaves you with this question.
She ends up doing the advertisement.
Yeah. This is where the sex toys come in. No.
That's it, folks.
But like, there's again, like it doesn't have to be like raunchy like that. And I wanted people to to be kind of like, well, oh, does he actually exist, or is it just like all in her head, you know?
Yeah.
And she's making it happen in her head. Which is also kind of cool. So, yeah.
But I really think that's what it's all about, right? I mean, how many times have you, I think a great example with you is probably like how many times you sang in the mirror.
Yeah.
And then you sang in front of people for the first time.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the groups get bigger and bigger. Like, I mean, when I saw you perform, that was a pretty decent amount of people there.
Thank you. That was, it was like my biggest show.
Yeah, that was
like
pretty decent amount of people
over 700
there.
people, yeah.
I was like, damn.
Yeah, no, that was wild. That was so cool to have happen. But yeah, I mean, you're constantly manifesting things and visualizing things, and you know, especially me being like the dreamer artist type, like I've always been a little like, you know, in fantasy land. So
No way.
Yeah, right.
I don't believe that at
all. Literally, like breaking up with someone and like hoping that like visualizing them like running back and like through the airport, like picking me up,
but you know what? Like I think it's healthy to get it out too, right? Like, you know, like I mean.
Well,
I was wallowing for a minute because I didn't get it out, and then like when you do, you're just like, all right, I'm cool.
For sure, but it's also just really cool because we really are like the creators of our reality, and our brains are so powerful as far as like what emotions we turn into reality, and you know, it doesn't know the difference. Our brains don't know the difference whether it's actually happening or it's just in our head, which is again why it's so important to really pay attention to what we're watching and what we're listening to, because it affects every bit of our lives.
People don't realize it.
No, they don't. So yeah, I mean, and I'd gotten to a point where I was like, screw it, what if this does work? You know, what do I have to lose? Okay, if it doesn't, okay, whatever, I'm just as I am, which is fine, you know? But like, what if it does? And if anything, it just like started making me feel better saying this stuff out loud as if it already had happened.
Yeah.
It just kind of raises the vibration. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of, it was like a mixture of those things, you know, what it stemmed from. And it's been cool to see
I like that.
people, especially going into 2024, right?
Yeah, that's good.
New year. I've got 2 more songs, like I said, that are coming out on the EP. One of them is called Another Best Friend, which I feel like we touched on briefly in our last interview. But yeah, that one's, you know, I'd written at a time when I was very fresh out of a breakup and knew that I needed to be alone, like for sure.
but it wasn't even like the fear of getting into a relationship and like necessarily like falling in love again, like the lover part of it. It was like the best friend. I was like, how many times am I gonna have to like tell somebody my secrets and get to know them and have that deep like inside jokes, like all of those things. Like how many times am I gonna have to do this, have them become my best friend, and then start over again? And I wasn't ready for that at that point again, to like get that invested. And I'm like one of those people too. It's like I'm either like in or I'm out.
I'm in that. Hey, listen, I'm in that boat right now.
Yeah,
where
I
I'm
could
like,
never like date multiple people. Like, there's no fucking way. Like, I'm checked out if I'm dating all of you.
I don't think
like,
I could date. I have no interest in dating at all.
yeah, no, right, and that's totally fine.
Just don't.
And at that point, that's where I was at, and so I wrote about it, and it was kind of about how when we go through a breakup, it's not just like one person we lose, it's two, and then eventually I got to realizing that it's not necessarily like a loss. It's of course like making room for
We
the
did talk about
the
this.
right person. Yeah,
For
exactly. And how it's all, being able to look at it with gratitude and all that was real in it, and what you learned from it, and being able to apply it to the next person, and yeah, again, just a stepping stone to the person that you're supposed to end up with. But yeah, so
Yeah, I think what's really cool about you is that you're kind of embody that saying, you don't want to bleed on people that didn't cut you.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
in order for you to, and I think it's kind of cool with Kyle too, because he also sits in that space of like, oh, well, like that's that healthy space of healing. It's that white hot space that maybe you need to occupy for a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
Before, you know what I mean?
For sure.
And
For
a lot of
sure.
people don't appreciate that, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, and again, our culture is like, oh, like shit on your exes, and it's really
Yeah.
easy, especially if they screwed you over and they cheated on you or they really broke your heart, to want to hate on them. And that's totally natural and healthy to like have your moment where you're angry, or whatever. But what helped me heal and like move forward eventually more than anything was being able to look at them with gratitude, honestly, because it made it seem like there was a purpose for this, even though it didn't
Yeah.
work out. Like there was absolutely a purpose for it, and that like just gave me this sense of fulfillment and comfort and peace in moving forward, and the realization that if whatever, if they don't want to be with me, or vice versa, or whatever, there was issues there, then like it's so much better off that you're not together, rather than holding on for dear life.
So for you then, you seem, all right, I'm just going to say it.
Mm-hmm.
You seem, not that I'm not known to do that. So you seem like somebody who loves really hard.
Yes.
Like really hard, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Kyle's looking at the floor. What?
We're both looking at you. So anyways,
Yes.
you can run now.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but again,
I'm saying that, I say that because you then in turn, when that breakup happens, it consumes you, it seems like.
it definitely for a minute, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, or at least it did back then. And I think I had to get to a place of like real self-love and really truly honestly being comfortable with myself. That
Were you breaking up with them, or were you getting broken up with?
so the first
Because I always get broken up with.
Yeah,
100%.
no, I had my first time ever breaking up with somebody else, and then shortly after that, like I was like, oh, I'm gonna be alone. Like, I broke up with them. Hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Very, very, very serious relationship, long term. And I was like, I'm gonna be alone. I need to figure out myself. And then I met somebody like out of the blue that was like, it just seemed so aligned. I was like, how do I not see what this could be, right? And then, after like 4 months, broke my soul. And so I was like, oh shit, really just like I thought for sure, I was like, yeah, this again, like this could be it. This happened for a reason. And I realized it did. It just wasn't the reason that I thought it was supposed to be. And there were still lessons that had to be learned. And, so that's kind of where I was at. I'd gone through like 2 breakups literally in the span of a year. yeah, it was wild.
Sound like my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, and it's like I went from literally not dating anybody else for 5 years to having 2 breakups in a year.
Do you feel like women nowadays have a tendency to get out of relationships and then jump right back in? Actually, no. I'm gonna rephrase
I would
that
say
question.
women and men.
I was gonna rephrase that and say, why do you think that
Why?
women and men? Yeah, why do you think that is?
Because I think that they don't want to be alone.
Yeah, I agree.
And on one hand, I totally get it because I think as human beings that we actually are supposed to be connected, and you know, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with not wanting to live your life completely solo, but you have to know why. You have to be at a point within yourself where you're not just getting into the wrong relationship or getting into a relationship because you're scared of being alone.
Yeah.
It has to be like, no, this person is, again, a bonus in my life. We're elevating each other. If they're not elevating my life and I'm not elevating their life, not to say that there's not going to be hard moments, but like, what am I doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, exactly. And it made, like, once I got to that point, you know, of comfort within myself, it was kind of like, I know that I'm not going to like take the shit that I took before now.
Yeah, you understand what you want.
Yeah, I know what I want. And if something's not that, that's totally fine. Like, no shade. But I'm going to be able to draw the line this time.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, and it takes balls to be able to really do that. And to just, again, do it with grace, you know?
Yeah.
If someone's not
Yeah.
sitting with you, being able to vocalize that and, again, like, yeah, put it out in the open.
Yeah, I did want your opinion on that. I did want your opinion on
Yeah.
why you thought women and men just jump right back in.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it's because they don't know how to be alone.
Yeah.
Or yeah, pretty much. They feel like, whether it's from, you know, being around their peers or pressure from society that they have to be with somebody, or they feel like they're running out of time. Like, there's that, and then there's like the internal personal, like, well, I just would rather not be alone.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. I'd rather also not be alone, but I feel like I'd just rather be. Right now, it's like I feel like I'd rather be single than be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Totally,
Like,
I
I feel like-
100% know what you're saying.
That's
yeah.
why I like your music though, because you can kind of sit in that space with it.
Yeah. Yep. I
Kind
mean,
of walks you through it a little bit.
sure. Yeah.
Right?
But I think that's a great space to be in, because I think that's when the right person does show up. Because
I hope so.
Yeah, you.
Because Mark's the only motherfucker that's been showing up.
I love it, Mark. But yeah, because then it's like you reach a point, and again, like when I went on my first date with Kyle, I was like, well, all right, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Like, it's fine. Like, I'll be okay. Like,
Yeah,
it's
you're
fine.
good either
you know,
way.
whatever. Like, if, you know, we have coffee and it seems like the combo's off, or it's not going anywhere, or whatever, or we just don't have it. Like, it's fine. Like, I had a cup of coffee with a friend, you know, and I met somebody new. Awesome. You know, it was less of this like personal attack or something, or, you know, if it didn't work, or, you know, I don't know. It just made it freed it up a little bit, because there wasn't this desperation around it to like want to have
Yeah, I think that's a
a
good
boyfriend or hook up with somebody or have them like me back. And
thing. You said you have another song?
oh yeah, one more. Yeah, so then I have, well, I don't know in which order yet, really, so
Okay.
whatever, but the second song is called When We Were Older. And then again, speaking about relationships, that was what I wrote like immediately after that serious relationship ending, because I was at this point where I was kind of thinking about, you know, the what ifs, like what if we had met once I had the time to myself and he had the time to by himself to really figure out exactly what, you know, we wanted. And
If
and
we're
here we
fifth,
were,
we'd all be
right?
drunk.
Right, yeah,
You know?
exactly. Gone through like had more, you know, self-reflection, just an understanding and everything. Like, would it have gone any differently if we had met when we were older, rather than
Right.
being like, you know, whatever, 20 years old. And so yeah, I just kind of like it snowballed from that, you know, and then into realizing again that like I'll never know, but all I know is that like I ended up exactly where I was supposed to.
I get that.
But I think it's a thought that we kind of all have at some point when we're in a relationship or when we leave a relationship. It's like, would this have gone any differently in an alternate universe? Or if, you know, if he had known what he knows now. And I didn't know, you know, I knew that I had been doing like this like healing work, but I had no idea what he was doing. I don't know if he had any, you know what I mean? Like any sort of.
It's cool though I think what's great though, and this is like a kind of a unique thing because most chicks, as far as I'm concerned, don't think like that.
Yeah.
But you want to believe that your ex-girlfriend thinks of things the way you do, in the sense of like, how did I grow from that particular situation?
Sure. How can I apply it to my next relationship?
Because like for me,
yeah,
you know, I went through that same thing where it was like, you know, I could still kind of dig through and unpack and give you a fucking the longest list of the most amazing things and a pretty short list of the bad ones. Right. At least from her to me. Right. When I was a piece of shit on the other end, you know, I told you that. So it's to see that on the other side, obviously, but like I'm just like so like, you know, I'm like that shit isn't happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
You know, what would that be called? Like,
I also had the thought too of like, you know, one of the lines in the song is like, if I saw you on the street, like, and I was like, you know, sitting on the corner drinking a cup of coffee looking lonely, would you notice me? Like if we met now, like would you even turn your head? Would I turn my head? Like would we even have been attracted to each other?
I think I think you always are though in those spaces, because when you're in the same, I feel like when you have a connection with somebody at some point, like even if the connection is not anywhere near where it was, it was always a part of you, right? Or who you were, what you had going on, right? Where to help you get to where you're at now,
right.
But what the benefit is with you, at least though, is that you seem to really like take everything and grow from that.
Thank you. Yeah, cool. I mean, I've like worked hard to get to that space. Yeah, I think it was more just like, you know, I don't know. Honestly, I can't say that I would necessarily like, I mean, maybe I would, but I will never know. Not like, oh, meeting your ex years later and rekindling. I mean, like meeting them for the first time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
When you're 30 or something.
I still think that you would, think, well, like, I think you could look at it. Yeah. I mean, that is a really interesting question to ask yourself.
Yeah. Well, and also I think too, like, people bring out different sides of you. I remember like he had like a crazy ex slide into my DMs and she's like, well, he was like this and he was like that. And I was like, dude, maybe he was, you know?
That probably made Kyle look so much better too. Because look at him. We can cut this out.
He's like, no, he wasn't. But I told her, I was like, listen, even if he was, I was like, maybe he was, but like also, you know, there was probably parts of me that were totally different when I was around somebody else, that we brought out like the worst in each other.
Yeah, of course.
He wouldn't want to have dated her either. So it's like, you know, who cares? Like, how are you showing up now?
I look back on myself from like a couple years ago, and I like go, like it's just embarrassing is really what it ends up being. Yeah. But you're like, man, I wouldn't have dated me. And then you're also sitting in that same white hot, crazy space of like, the best thing you ever did was leave. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because like I would have never changed. Right. I would have kept lying. I'd have kept being a loser.
Right. Well, and that's amazing, like that you're able to like gauge that. And then you just said it perfectly. Like, would you have dated yourself? And that's kind of how I look at like I feel like every day now it's like, would I date me? Because when you're able to like really think like that, it helps you like gauge everything in your life. Yeah. Like what you want to have in it, how you want to treat yourself. And that's honestly, I feel like the key to like eventually finding the right person too, you know?
Yeah. I just self-audit super hard now. Yeah. But I feel like it can also be your downfall.
Oh, for sure. 'Cause you can gaslight yourself.
Yeah. And I do it like, you know, like sometimes I'm way too hard on myself, and people are like,
I'm the same way.
Yeah. People are like, yo, like, it can't be like that. You know? Yeah. And I'm like, oh, but it was like this. I never want to be like that again. And people are like,
Yeah.
just you throw it in
That's
reverse
okay.
for a
No,
second.
again,
You
like,
know?
it was a phase. It was you
Yeah.
learned from it. I was like younger you know?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's part of like growing up.
It is.
You wouldn't have the perspective you have now had you had not been through that experience.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. So do we cover everything?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I got to still finish with my last question.
Cool.
I know I've asked you this before, but we're gonna ask again.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw you in July.
It was no, it was August.
Oh, okay. Saw you in August.
Yeah.
Close enough. I wasn't too far off.
It might have been like no, yeah, it was August.
You sure? I'm gonna check now.
Yeah.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy would you consider yourself to be?
Are we
And
still using happy? Remember?
I'm
I thought
still,
we were
yeah, we're
changing
still
it to
asking the
joy.
same question. Still asking the same question. And if you're not a 10, what do you think you do to get yourself closer to a 10?
I would say at this current moment I'm hungry, so I'm probably like an 8.
That's what she's at. So she's at a fucking 0 right now for everybody.
No.
Chloe's
no.
hangry.
I'm great. I'm great.
That evil laugh.
I know.
So that's exactly what that is.
Bean burrito.
She's got 15 minutes. That's fucking amazing. Well, I'm seriously like so thankful that you decided to come back on the podcast.
Of course,
And,
anytime.
This is always so fun to just sit and chop
We're
it up
buds.
with you. I love it. I just love that we can sit down. We probably just did an hour and a half. Like
I know.
it's like
We
that.
can do it all the time. You just gotta move here so we can just do segments.
Oh my God.
regularly.
I need to move to. This would be the only area I'd move into
Yeah, sweet.
for real.
It's not that far from us.
It's like what, 30 minutes?
Yeah, not too bad.
Introducing Oregon Originals Hemp Sleep Gummies, your ticket to a restful night's sleep. Unwind naturally with our premium hemp-infused gummies, crafted to calm your mind and relax your body. Oregon Originals is dedicated to quality, using organic hemp and soothing botanicals for a blissful bedtime experience. Say goodbye to tossing and turning, and hello to sweet embrace of sleep. Elevate your nights with Oregon Originals Hemp Sleep Gummies, because better sleep starts with a bite. Visit OregonOriginals.com and make your nights truly dreamy. Dreamy's natural sleep secret. Use code ROGER20 for 20% off today. I personally smoke unicorn every evening when I get home. Whether it's a smooth hit of a unicorn pre-roll or eating a high-potency unicorn drop, it's the perfect way to enjoy my free time and end each and every evening.